Big Mo. Welcome to the Lawn Stars and no BS lawn care. I did cut down all the poke salad, and as you can see, it's already coming back, man. It's a battle. Hadn't had time to do much, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But look at the banana plants. Yeah, buddy. I told you, they don't fool around when they start growing. But yeah, it has been a mess here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with all the rain. It's just been raining constantly. Don't have hardly time to do anything else but try to mow when you get a break. It's already rained this morning. You see, everything is wet. And as you know, when it's been raining a lot, even when you have a break, you're having to deal with wet ass yards and trying to not tear them up. But if you don't mow, then it just gets taller and wetter. It don't get any drier and shorter, that's for sure. But yeah, it's been a mess, and we had since I've talked to you, the Cheetah 2 was having some problems with it. It was cutting wonky a little bit. It had some other stuff, I could see why. But so I put it in there over at Sequoia, and it's no BS here, okay? I give credit where credit's due. I've shopped there at Sequoia for 13 years, and get all my stuff there and all that, and I love that. I love those guys, and I love shopping there. But I can't lie, they kind of, in my eyes, kind of dropped the ball this time, because I put that Cheetah 2 in the first, and it's still in there, and it's just been sitting out in the rain, which I hate. I kind of wish they'd have said something, hey, it's going to be weeks before we can get to you, but they didn't, and it's just been sitting there. Didn't hear anything from them. Had to call them a couple of times, and hopefully they'll get it done next couple of days. He said he was going to work on it today or tomorrow. So yeah, it's been sitting there since the first and hadn't been looked at, period. So yeah, sorry, I gotta calls them like I sees them. But yeah, man, what about this Finster stuff? Thoughts? Well, the last video I thought was kind of funny. He was showing himself getting dirty. If you have to go out of your way to show yourself getting some grass on you, then your workload and stuff is a little suspect, in my opinion. I mean, I get that dirty. I was that dirty this morning and had to clean myself off just from blowing the crap off the mower where we've been trying to mow in the mud. So yeah, before work, get that dirty. So if he has to make a big deal out of it, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. And as for the big gift, that he got, if these companies are stupid enough to give people like that stuff like that, very expensive things, then they get what they deserve, you know what I mean? The point is, if they get, I'm not saying anything about that, like if they gave it to me, it would be, well deserved or whatever, but the whole point is, I think if they gave it to me, it would be a waste, but I also think giving it to them is a big waste, the only thing about giving it to someone, and I'm not saying me, but other people that are smaller channels, giving them something, you know, you might actually get somebody to buy some stuff, you know, because they're actually out there, real people out there mowing, you know, and all that. But if you give it to just people that, if you give it to tall grass people, let's say, if their audience is real, which is suspect to me, but if their audience is real, it's not lawn care people that are going to be buying these mowers. It's just people that are just mesmerized by watching tall grass be cut, I guess. And they're not going to go buy a mower because they have that mower. And the same thing with Finster, you know, he's not really, I mean, he calls himself an influencer, but I don't think he has much influence, if that makes any sense. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I had some, getting back to this, I had some, since I've talked to you last, had some crazy stuff. One thing, and this contributed, like I was saying, to the cheetah cutting monkey, had this happen. Look how bent that freaking thing is. And when they bend like that, you can't get that spacer off. It's not coming off. So I'm gonna have to cut the end of it off here to get that blade off. But the weird thing was, it was, and I think why this happened was that day, it was cutting wonky, but not real bad yet, but the tire was going flat and I didn't catch it right away. But one of the tires was slowly going low, so it was dipping on that side, you know how it does. And we were just cutting junk and had to cut this 1 yard that never cut before, and it was one of these rental properties for some of these people. And just the first time cutting it, and there was here, I'll show you, there was a give you a more visualization of this. There was a pole, an old pole from something, maybe like a clothesline or who knows what back in the day. I don't know what this one is either. It was here when I moved here. But you see that. It was something like that. It wasn't that high though, oddly enough. And it was in some tall grass, and I hit that thing and it did this. And automatically roared, you know, because this was all out of whack. So I had to cut the blades off just to stop it and bring that mower back here and get the V-Rod and use it the rest of the day. But yeah, the weird thing about it is, look at this blade, look at it. I mean, it's rusted, but because it's been sitting out here on that since then. Not a mark, not a chip, not anything on it. So the blade didn't hit it. I'm guessing the end of this bolt hit it, I guess. I don't know, it's a weird thing, but it bent the hell out of it. And so I ended up having to just get another bolt, and then the whole new thing of this and some new blades, getting new blades anyway. But I'm gonna get this one off here because there's nothing wrong with it. It's not bent, it's not got a dent in it. So I'm gonna have to, when I have time, I'm gonna have to grind that or cut that off there and get that blade off. But then as happens sometimes, when I went to change blades on the V-Rod after that, I couldn't get one off, and it was bent, but barely. All they on those things, it could be barely bent where you can't even see. I couldn't even see it. but I've had it happen before where it's just barely bent and you can't get that spacer is so tight you can't get it off. So I'm gonna have to do that with that one. I've got another one in there that I have to cut off the end of it or whatever to get that off and get the blade off of it. So yeah, it's been stuff like that. And then I was mowing another rental property, and it was like just a one-off, you know, before these people moved in, and it was out of hand. And you know, you can look around, you kind of, I mean, unless you walk every square inch of the yard, you may miss something. And up in some tall grass, there was a daggum log chain, you know, big old chain, and whap, I hit it with the V-rod. It's pretty good about cutting off. As soon as it hits something, it like really shuts down. So it didn't, you know, I was able to run it after that. It was fine. I mean, it was probably has a big, I hadn't even looked at it, man. It probably has or yeah, I did. It had a big chip, you know, just a chip in the blade, but it didn't bend the shaft or anything. But what it did do, because a few yards later, what it did do was the blade belt broke, because I'm sure from whack stopping like that, it just put strain on it, and it was probably already wearing out. And so the blade belt broke. So I went and got a blade belt and just used the 3-foot to finish. I think we're about done with the day. Just used the 36-inch mower to finish things up. So I got a new belt, put it on there. So yeah, it's typical lawn care stuff. When you do enough stuff and you do enough crappy stuff, stuff's gonna happen, and that's just par for the course. That's what you got to deal with. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's go mow something, and then I'll get back with you. Let's do it.
Tricks, so I ignored my good intention. Called that number anyway. The doctor on the line said she'd get me in that day. Dr. Juice, Sister Squeeze, Dr. Juice, Sister Squeeze. Guaranteed. For that you gotta pay. She said she'd fix my body in that old-fashioned way. She wrapped her arms around me, squeezed me till I popped. She said she'd keep it coming till she heard me holler stop. Dr. Juice, Sister Squeeze, Dr. Juice, Sister Squeeze. moving like a baboon on the Serengeti. She said the second session, she said Saturday sounds so sweet. She said she'd fix my ankle, put the rhythm in my feet. Dr. Juice.
Okay, as you can see, the day ended with this. Yeah, fun time. What I just showed you, that footage was typical. Been very typical for this week. Weed eating, a lot of stuff that we can't mow. So there's been a lot of weed eating going on. Because things are simply just too wet, some things, to mow. It's taken it, surprisingly, because we had a wet April, and now we are having a wet May, and it's taken it a surprisingly long time to get to this point, though, where it's hard to mow stuff, because it was so much of a drought before that. The ground was just soaking it up, you know, like a sponge. But now it finally reached that point this week where it's just saturated, and it's not going to take anymore. It's not having it. And so yeah, that is that. It's just been working between the raindrops, and that's the way it's going to be the rest of the week. Woo! Anyway, before I go, I want to address that young guy, Jay, that is, you know, made some videos. I think he's kind of, it seems as though he is kind of, somebody's talked to him, and he's kind of stepping back from the drama, because the drama will get you some views for a minute, but then if you have an audience that's like their audience, where they're just wanting to watch them mow and they don't want any kind of shenanigans, it really turns them off. So once you get that little bump from saying something stupid on there and being dramatic, you lose those people because you're just going back to your normal thing. And then you also have lost some of your core audience if you're that kind of channel. But anyway, addressing as me what he was saying. The kid, and I call him a kid because I'm just an old guy. To me, he's a kid. But the funny thing is, he's like, I'm young, I'm this young stud or whatever. Basically, you're not that young, you know. You're, from what I could tell, I understand from watching that video, you're like 29, getting ready to turn 30. So you're almost 30 years old. You know, a lot of young people would look at you and go, that's a 30, old fart. So yeah, compared to me, you're young, but you're not that young, so calm your tits. The other thing is, he seems like he has a good head on his shoulders, and he's wanting to prepare for later in life and stuff like that, which is a good thing. But his downfall is going to be his arrogance. If you get to the point where you think you know it all, especially when you're 30, and if you get to the point where you think you know it all, and that's not a good place to be, because we can always learn. I'm an old fart. I can learn still. I know that. I'm old enough to know that I don't know everything. See, sometimes people, when they're younger, they think they know everything. But when you get old, like me, you realize you don't know everything, even now, you know. So, yeah, I'd be stupid to say I can't learn myself. But he's really stupid to say that he can't learn, you know, from all these guys, you know. Yeah, everybody makes mistakes, okay, in life, and the whole thing is, man, is that he is young enough, possibly, to not have had life come crashing down around his ears yet. And that's when you learn that, you know, really, that you don't know everything. And you can learn from people that have been through things, you know, because older folks like me, we've been through some stuff and we've learned from it. And you can always learn from somebody else, you know. And until you've had life come crashing down around your ears and kick you in the nether regions, you may think you have it all solved, but I promise you, you don't. And you old guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, anyway, until I see you again, please take it easy. Be careful out there, and you know, be safe, and just get her done. You know what I'm saying? Big Mo, signing off.
Hey guys, Doc here. Since I'm quitting YouTube, I just wanted to give you one last look at my beautiful bod. I mean, dang, I have pecs to die for. Heck, I would do me so
This
hard.
has been a Lone Stars Dramedy Network presentation, Dolling.